Alright guys, knocking another quick one out here. I'll try to make this one go as fast as I can. There's not a whole lot to explain on this one, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So this is the Go Pack from London Bridge Trading, model number LBT-8000, and then there's a letter designator after that. I believe that corresponds to the color, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. There's a ton of colorways that they offer this in, depending on the time of year, depending on what season it is or what sales are running. This was one of the Memorial Day options. It's Ranger Green with multicam black right there. It's a pretty straightforward pack. I was kind of intrigued. I wasn't sure, quite how big it is. I'm terrible at looking at pack dimensions and seeing what it's going to do for me. It's a surprisingly big pack for the footprint, which is pretty cool. Alright, so LBT lists the overall dimensions: 14 long, 8 wide, and 16 high. So, like I said, I'm terrible at pack dimensions. I don't know which this corresponds to what in the case of this pack, because it's a very square-shaped pack. It's kind of odd. Right. This is another one they offer a armor insert for. So, looking in the main pocket here, I have seen them run specials on the armor insert for this one. Unlike the 14 liter, the back pocket goes significantly higher, so I could see soft armor staying in there pretty well. Dropped a sappy plate in there earlier. I'll throw a picture up at the end. This one is much more fusible if you wanted to run a sappy plate in here for some reason. Again, I'm not huge on that. I don't think I'll do it, but it does fit, and it doesn't eat up as much space as you would think. Right. So there's absolutely no internal organization on this thing other than this back pocket. Unlike the 14 liter, it has no sort of shot cord. It is just the pocket as it sits. Now it does ride pretty high, so that's not a huge deal. You're not going to lose anything out of this. It'll fit about the same size stuff. I would go full-size iPad. I don't know if I would put any kind of laptop in here, because you're going to start kind of torquing the edges. I get real nervous throwing a regular laptop into an unpadded pack like that, so I wouldn't do it personally. I think they kind of missed a really big selling point on here by not putting any kind of Velcro in here at all. It would have been neat to see this lined with loop, at least on one side, to give you some sort of organization to it. But that probably wasn't their goal. And it also has a single drain hole in the bottom, just like the 14 liter. Moving on to the smaller pocket. It's actually a pretty good size. I've got a whole tool bag in here. There's a totally separate story. We don't need to cover this at all. But it's a pretty bulky package. It fits in there fine. And even with the main panel or main pocket loaded, I can still pull that in and out pretty easily. Again, there's no organization in here whatsoever. You could get probably one of the medium-sized Griddits if they even still make those things. I had one. I don't know where I put it, but that'll fit in there. So if you're worried about power sources, cords, whatnot, iPad or iPod stuff, Zunes, if anybody still has a Zune, I don't even know. Those will fit in there fine, and it'll keep it pretty well organized. And then this outside pocket, if you wear the toe shoes, I don't know if anybody still wears those, they're pretty nerdy. Toe shoes will fit in there pretty good. Some of the more minimalist running shoes or workout shoes will fit in there pretty alright, as well as a small towel if that's something you need. Maybe like a gym bag type setup. It does have a little bit of loop here for all your Huya patches, but I will say this is not shot cord and is as close to useless as possible. So you can take up a little bit of this with this, but it doesn't have any give to it. And with this thing loaded, I was really underwhelmed with the functionality of this little drawstring here. It was actually kind of lame. Alright, moving on to the user side of this pack. So again, they did a pretty good job on the straps. These are a little bit more simplified. There's no true routing loops, although you could use a sternum strap path. Again, sternum strap or repair buckles, so you can move it up or down. You've got plenty of range of motion there. Again, webbing retainers, which is pretty nice. Oddly, they didn't put them on the shoulder straps this time, just the sternum straps. For the actual list price of this at $120, I think a couple of more pieces of Velcro would have been nice to have on there. But they did do a good job on the straps, so I wouldn't really be concerned too much with weight in this pack. It'll carry fine, and you should have plenty of comfort there. Granted, the back panel is completely unpadded, and that is straight 500 denier Cordura there. So if there are any edges in there, you're going to feel every bit of it. Which that soft armor, if it's on special for no other reason than that, might make a decent pack panel in there. The straps are also not mesh lined or anything along those lines. I will say on both of these packs I did find some stitching that was a little questionable, which I've heard LBT is kind of going down that road. So just make sure when you get one of these things, take a good look at it. They do have a good warranty still, so I wouldn't be crazy concerned about it. And these aren't huge load-bearing packs, but it is a little annoying for the price tag to find some of the stitches already popped. Thanks for your time. If there's anything else you guys want to see, again, drop me a comment or something like that, and I'll try to find it. I've got a couple Mystery Ranch packs coming up that I want to look at, and should be posting those soon. Thanks.